After we dealt with the preliminaries, two petitions were struck out. Petition number E006 and petition number E009 was struck out, and the rulings were delivered together with the media summary showing the reasons why they were struck out. So we are left with 7 petitions, and the court has considered the 7 petitions which emanate from the same presidential election which was held on the 9th of August 2022. So upon perusing and considering the issues raised in the following petitions, E001, E002, E003, E004, E005, E007, and E008 of 2022, and the respondents thereto, we find that all those petitions raise similar issues and seek similar orders. Therefore, we order that petitions numbers E001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8 of 2022 petition B, and are hereby consolidated with petition number E005 of 2022, which is designated as the RIND presidential election petition for 2022. The parties will therefore be, the ending of the matter will therefore read as Raila Odinga and Martha Karua will be the first petitioners. John Njoroge Kamau will be the second petitioner. Youth Advocacy Africa and Peter Kilika will be the third petitioner. Kerif Karifa, John Josewe, Ruth Mumbi, Grace Kamau, David Kariuki will be the fourth petitioner. Okia Umtata Okoiti, Nyakina Wycliffe Gisebe, Victor Opuna, John Maina will be the sixth petitioner. Julia Nyokabi Chege, Joseph Mutua Ndonga, Simon Mwaura Njenga will be the 7th petitioner. The respondents will be William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, the first and second respondents. IBC will be the third respondent. Then Mr. Wafula Chebukati, fourth respondent. Juliana Cherera, fifth respondent. Irene Masiti, sixth respondent. Justice Nyangaya, seventh respondent. Francis Wanderi, eighth respondent. Professor Gurie, ninth respondent. Boya Moru, 10th respondent. And the Attorney General will be the 11th respondent. From the rulings that we delivered, we have admitted Law Society of Kenya as amicus curiae or amici curiae with ICJ, Mr. John Warubengo, Dr. Joseph Savira, and Martin Milero. That is the order of the court for the consolidation of the matter. So the other issue that we are going to deal with this morning upon consolidation of the matter is to settle the issues for determination. The court, having considered the pleadings that were filed, the submissions, and all the documents that were filed, we have framed 9 issues that have been shared with you by now, I believe, but I'll read them out. The first issue is whether the technology deployed by IEBC for the conduct of the 2022 general elections met the standards of integrity, verifiability, security, and transparency to guarantee accurate and verifiable results. Issue number 2, whether there was interference with the uploading and transmission of Forms 34A from the polling stations to the IEBC public portal. Issue number 3, whether there was a difference between Forms that uploaded on the IEBC public portal and Forms 34As received at the National Tallying Center and Forms 34As issued to the agents at the polling stations. Issue number 4, whether the postponement of gubernatorial elections in Kakamega and Mombasa counties, Kacheriba, Rongai, and Pokot South constituencies, and electoral wards in Nyaki West in North Imenti constituency, and Kwanjenga in Embakasi South constituency, resulted in voter suppression to the detriment of the petitioners in petition number E005 of 2022. Number 5, whether there were unexplained discrepancies between the votes cast for presidential candidates and other elective positions. Issue number 6, whether the IEBC carried out the verification, tallying, and declaration of results in accordance with the provisions of Article 138(3)(c) and 138(10) of the Constitution. Issue number 7, whether the declared president-elect attained 50% plus 1 vote of the votes cast in accordance with Article 138(4) of the Constitution. And number 8, whether there were irregularities and illegalities of such magnitude as to affect the final result of the presidential election. And finally, what reliefs and orders can this court grant or issue? Those were the issues that the court has come up with. Perhaps then we can proceed to the next area. Council present and parties, considering the constitutional time frame for determining the consolidated presidential election petition and the nature of the issues raised, as well as the COVID-19 pandemic, we have limited the number of advocates who can sit in the plenary as per the schedule that was shared with you this morning by the registrar of the court. For further clarity, been asked to clarify that parties have a right to representation of as many lawyers as they wish. The only reason we cannot accommodate everybody here is because of the limited space. We are still in the COVID-19 protocol that requires social distancing, and also because of security. However, on account of all these considerations, we have facilitated additional advocates to sit in courtroom number 1, where the proceedings will be streamed live. I will seek your indulgence on behalf of my brother and sister judges and cooperation in this regard. We have also shared a time allocation that is allocated to each one of you. I believe you have been given a copy of the time allocation schedule. Things are streaming online. If you can check, maybe it has come, but I can read it for you. When we will start the hearing tomorrow, the main petitioner, that is petition number E005 of 2022, Raila Odinga and Martha Karua, we have allocated them 3 hours. The supporting petitioners, being petition number E001 of 2022, John Joroge Kamau, we have allocated that supporting petitioner 30 minutes. Petition number E002 of 2022, Youth Advocacy Africa and Peter Kirika, we have allocated 30 minutes. Petition number E003 of 2022, Kerif Karifa and others, 30 minutes. Petition number E004 of 2022, David Kariuki Ngari, 30 minutes. Petition number E007 of 2022, Okia Omtata Okoiti and others, 30 minutes. Petition number E008 of 2022, Juria Nyokabi, and others, we have allocated them 30 minutes. It is hoped that that will be the time allocation for tomorrow, and when we proceed to the hearing of the we've also looked at the responses by some respondents, namely Juliana Cherera, Irene Masit, Justus Nyangaya, and Francis Wanderi, who appear to be supporting. These 4 respondents have been allocated 1 hour to share among themselves. That gives to that 15 minutes each if they are represented by different council. Then parties in opposition to the petitions, we have identified IMBC together with the chairman, Wafula Chebukati, and we have allocated them 3 hours to share. William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, they have been given 3 hours. The Attorney General will be given 30 minutes to respond. According to the rulings that we have delivered, we admitted 3 amici curiae. They will not be given time to make oral submissions. According to the rules of this court, we will rely on their briefs, which are on record, unless the bench wishes to raise an issue for clarification by them. That will take us now the 2nd day of the hearing. We are hoping the 3rd day, which is Friday, we will hear a rejoinder. We'll give the main petitioner in petition number E005 of 2022, Raila Odinga and Martha Karua, 1 hour to respond. Petition number 001 of 2022, John Joroge, will have 15 minutes. Petition number E002 of 2022, Youth Advocacy Africa, 15 minutes. Petition number E003 of 2022, 15 minutes. Petition number E004 of 2022, 15 minutes. And petition number E007 of 2022, 15 minutes. And petition number E006 will also have 15 minutes. As you will also have noticed, we have given a comprehensive ruling on the applications that were filed seeking discovery, various discovery and scrutiny. According to the order that has been issued, we are expecting a report that will be tabled before this court for consideration by Thursday afternoon. And if there will be issues arising from that report, we have agreed to give the main petitioner 30 minutes to respond. And because they filed an application for discovery, so was Youth Advocacy Africa and Mr. Kerif, they also filed an application for discovery. According to the issues that they were raising, the youth advocacy will be given 20 minutes, and Kerif, who was seeking one issue, will be given 10 minutes. The IBC will be given 30 minutes, and William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua will also be given 30 minutes to respond to the report that will be filed if there will be issues arising which they will wish to respond to. That is the time allocation. Due to the time constraints that we have to determine these election petitions within 14 days, we will appreciate also the filing was tight within 7 days. This is dealing with information or evidence from all over the country. The framers of our Constitution decided that they will give 14 days. It has been done before, and we hope to do it also this time. But we will also seek your indulgence when you are allocated your time, you will adhere to the time. We also developed some ground rules as a court where we are requesting that parties and advocates will observe punctuality, the time that is indicated for us to start the proceedings, and the time allocated to them on the screen. We will also, this is an old practice, that we will continue to be respectful of the court, our personnel, and also to respect each other, adhering to the rules of this court. We also are obliged to state that we expect parties to conduct themselves with decorum to preserve the dignity of the court and the proceedings, while bearing in mind the provisions of Section 28 of the Supreme Court Act. We are also reminding ourselves that these are judicial proceedings being conducted in court, and therefore discussing the merits of the case by the parties or counsel outside the court is not permitted. We still have the power under Section 28 of the Supreme Court Act to cite such parties who are in violation of the provision of the law. We also like to remind you that courtesy must be observed at all the time. The court will not tolerate offensive language. We like to repeat about the time allocated due to the time constraints. Once a party has exhausted the allocated time, the microphone will be switched off. We also wish to state that if there is time that is unspent by the council, the time belongs to court, so we will not allow anybody to donate, but revert it to the court for the court to share it out according to the court's generosity or lack of it. Due to the limited timelines, there will be no extension of time, so please let no one ask for extension of time. We are dealing with the submissions that have already been filed. We have been painstakingly reading those submissions. Therefore, we wish parties to just focus on the key issues that they would like to highlight. Parties are therefore urged to focus on the pertinent points of their case to save on time. We always like to remind parties cell phones must be switched off or on silent mode. During the hearing, unnecessary movement or disruption when the court is in session is discouraged. However, parties or counsel or even the bench are, however, permitted to take health breaks during proceedings as the need may arise without disrupting the continuity of the submissions. And during these individual breaks, the proceedings will proceed. Even if I want to walk out, don't think the proceedings have stopped. They will proceed. The media present, we have already issued the media guidelines that must be observed all the time. Given the immense public interest in the proceedings, we have allowed media houses to run broadcasts, live broadcasts to enable Kenyans to follow the process from any part of the country and even beyond. We urge members of the public to follow the court proceedings from the comfort of their homes or offices through their television and stream broadcasts without the need of coming to court physically. This is particularly informed by the reality that due to the limited space within the court premises, we can only accommodate a limited number of persons to attend the proceedings in person. Consequently, we have restricted physical access to the court premises only to the persons who have been accredited as parties, counsel, or court personnel. We will also urge the counsel, when you are making your submissions, any references made to the material. You can see the voluminous nature of the files. They are still in our chambers. Please, we ask you to specify the bundle and the page that you'll be referring to for ease of reference. If there is any electronic presentation to be made, we would kindly request that it is provided to the registrar of the court 30 minutes before the commencement of the day's hearing. As I have said before, court number 1 has been prepared as a spillover room to accommodate parties and the advocates. We are also reminded by the Ministry of Health to continue reminding ourselves of the COVID-19 protocols and regulations which will apply in the course of the proceedings. We urge parties to cooperate and comply with these directions. I think that is all from the court.
Chief Justice, Deputy Chief Justice, Your Leadership, my lords, judges of the Supreme Court, I think there is one matter, Chief Justice, there is one issue that was raised by my colleague, Professor Gidu Muigai, regarding the correct team of lawyers legitimately representing the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. This honorable court is aware that there is an application which was filed, I believe, fairly late last night and was responded to on that very issue. And I think in order to save time, I would suggest that perhaps the court considers that issue and gives directions in a ruling. My colleague, Professor Githu Muigai, and my good friend, Karoli Kamau, have filed a set of pleadings on behalf of the Commission. Issa Mansour has filed a set of pleadings on behalf of the Commission. As far as I am concerned with Issa, as I indicated, we rely on a resolution by 4 of the 7 commissioners. We have stated in our pleadings that we are legitimately representing the Commission. Our colleagues have filed the pleadings on the basis of instructions, I believe, by the CEO, who we say the CEO implements instructions from the Commission. The Commission is a corporate entity. In the absence of consensus, decisions are by majority. But because all these things are actually in the pleadings filed, all I'm pleading is that this honorable court considers those pleadings and gives its directions or ruling so that tomorrow we are able to move on without wasting the time of this honorable court. I thank you.
May it please you, Madam Chief Justice, and the honorable members of the court, I would like to set the record straight. IEBC filed an application on the 29th of August 2022 seeking to strike out pleadings that were purported to have been filed by one Issa Mansour. That application is pending. We take the view, 2 reasons if we need to make the argument. First of all, we have a notice of appointment of advocates that predates the entry of Issa Mansour. Best civil practice would have required, if a legitimate change of advocates was to be made, for a notice of change of advocates to be filed. No such action was filed by what I consider a very, very competent firm of advocates. So there, in our view, there must have been collateral purpose. Secondly, it is not the work of the commissioners of IEBC, whether in majority or in minority, to procure any services. That flies totally in the face of the procurement law in this country. As we sit here now, the 4 who purport to have procured have committed a criminal offense and should be treated as such. So, in my opinion, what I understood my lady and the court to have said earlier in your ruling was that IEBC was properly represented by its advocates on this table. However, the 4 individual commissioners who are now cited as respondents but who are supporting the petition will continue to enjoy the very distinguished services of my senior learned friend, the Honorable Paul Mwita.
Your Leadership, Madam CJ, there is something that is likely to be lost as my two learned friends are fighting. And it is so important, it could compromise really the fairness of the hearing which you have endeavored with so much effort to craft a way forward. It is this: 8 petitions were filed against my client within the 7 days cast in stone in the Constitution. It is the first time in this republic that 8 are filed. In 2013, there were 2. But because of ingenuity of this side of the court, we now can file very many, all intended for the same purpose. That aside, I burnt midnight oil, filed my response within time. Then comes the group of 4 commissioners. On 26th August, they have filed a response to the petition. They are filing this under the pretext they are respondents. They file a response. It is not a response. It is a new petition. There are new claims, new grievances, new grounds for nullification of my client's electoral victory.
Senior Counsel.
Yes.
I think a ruling was delivered on their participation as respondents.
If you could just have allowed me 1 minute.
What we are addressing is whether they should be represented by lawyers of IMBC.
I was dealing with the response that they have filed. And that is the point that I think my learned friend, Githu Muigai, was alluding to. Will that response still be on record, or are they limited to the affidavits that they had filed and which have been allowed? Because if the response is also part of the record, a response filed or a new petition filed outside time, I do not know whether I need to respond to it and whether it will be admitted by the court, notwithstanding the strictures in Article 140. I hope my...
We've gotten you, Senior Counsel. What we are dealing with is the application of whether we should allow Counsel to represent the 4 commissioners. As you can see, the 2 factions are insisting they are representing IMBC.
And in the mix of it is that response that has been filed by learned counsel Paul Muite's team.
We will retire to consider that application.
Please.
Which was, I think, filed out of time. So
yes, that is
night.
Is filed out of time.
We'll consider it and come back with a ruling.
Correct.
Yes.
That's number 1. Number 2, again, something which may be lost out. When I look around me, my colleagues each representing a party. And as you said, some could be secondary petitions. They each have, under the guideline you give, 4 lawyers each. Very carefully, I did.
It's only the main parties who have 4 lawyers.
All the petitioners are main parties.
Okay.
All the petitioners are main parties. Say, for example, petition number 1, they have my learned friends, 4 of them. And the same goes for each petition. I don't know why the noise is being generated. I can see a battery of governor. Is each 2-2 or? Huh?
2. Mr. Ngatia, the other petitioners have 2, not 4.
Oh, very well.
So you really have no reason to complain.
Thank you so much, my lord. Nonetheless, actually, that makes my work much easier. Each has 2, there are 8, 16, or against nullification of 1 person. And then that 1 person, you limit him to 4 lawyers. I appreciate, I'll be the first one to say we are living in difficult times. But surely it will be very difficult for me, and I say this in all fairness, to be able to master a defense against all the 18 lawyers when all we have is a team of 4. Let me say the last thing, Madam Chief Justice, because your fairness is legendary. The total time given my learned friends, all the 8 of them, is 8 hours. I have been allowed 3 hours. I would have requested you, Madam CJ, if there's any way you could, allow me at least half the time that my opponents have, so that I could at least be able to master a defense in relation to petition number 5, the primary, and the proxy ones, the 6 of them. That is all.
My lady, if I may, if I may have your indulgence for only 1 minute. I noticed that my lady observes that this application was filed out of time, and we admit that that is so. But the reason is that it is not one of the applications contemplated under the rules. Issa Mansour, Esquire, filed his papers on the 26th. We did not expect that there would be another petition filed in the guise of a response, because what the 4 commissioners have done is to file a fresh presidential petition outside the constitutional timelines. We agonized as to what we ought to do in the circumstances, and the only thing open to us was to make the application on the 29th. So we beseech you that if you find that it is out of the normal timeline, you nonetheless grant us an extension of time, because resolving this matter is very fundamental to resolving the petition. It is, my lady, this court that has repeatedly cautioned us that we should never attempt to resolve such a weighty matter as to who is the legitimate president of the Republic of Kenya on the basis of subterfuge. And I do pray, therefore, that you consider very seriously, my lady, that application, so that you may guide us accordingly. As regards time, we have another request. We are facing 7 petitions, and all these people are attacking the integrity of our technology, the capacity of our personnel, and above all else, the integrity of our chairman. We would ask for just 1 more hour so that we can meet these 7 petitions that have been allocated 10 hours. Thank you very much, my lady.
My lady, the president of the court and members of the court, I think the court has been very fair looking at the time allocation. We have 7 petitions, and in all those 7 petitions, we have been given a total of 6 hours with a little bit more time for the petition number 5. We have 3 hours. The respondents similarly have 6 hours. And I think that taking into consideration the time that you have to hear and determine the petitions, I think that the time allocation has been very fair. Otherwise, if you had to follow the arguments by my learned friends for the IEBC, you would similarly say that our petitioners had a lot more to lose than the other petitioners, and therefore we should be given a little more time. But I think in the circumstances, I think the court has given a fair consideration as to the interests of all the parties and how to accommodate all the parties. 6 hours for the petitioners and 6 hours for the respondents.
8 for the petitioners.
It's 6 hours. I think you do a little bit of mathematics, you'll find. I did a little bit of mathematics. The other matter that I wish to draw the court's attention there are other pleadings that have been filed out of time without the leave of court. I would invite the court to look at those pleadings that have been filed out of court, out of time, and without the leave of court, to be struck out, because parties that have been served with these pleadings at the last hour would not be able to respond to them. And one particular affidavit which has been served, filed out of time, is the affidavit that on the face of it is by one Hilda Kavonga. That has been filed by the Electoral Commission, the first faction of the Electoral Commission. And at the last page, it says it's been sworn by Martin Wachira Nyaga. So some mutation, biological mutation, must have taken place. And that, I don't know how to crack that one. But the bottom line is that they've been filed out of time and without leave of court.
Yes, the Honorable Madam Chief Justice and the court, I have a small application that I thought I would bring to the court's attention. Due to late service of responses, the first respondent, the first petitioner in petition number E007 prepared responses and a further affidavit that were brought to the attention of the registry, but were rejected because of the question of time. In the same breath as my learned friend Professor Githu Muigai, who has not filed a response to an application by ISA, we would seek leave, Your Ladyship, to file the affidavit. It's a small further affidavit of only 44 paragraphs, which is as a result of late service, Your Ladyship, and submissions by the first petitioner in E007. Your Ladyship, in terms of representation, just weighing in on what my learned friend has submitted, Mr. Professor Githu Muigai, Senior Counsel. There are only 2 professors and Senior Counsel in court, the 2 of us. Why can't all of them appear for the IBC? All the Senior Counsel can appear for IBC so that the court is richer with submissions from all parties, so that we hear the Chebukati faction and the Cherere faction, and I think the court then can make a good decision. Last, Your Ladyship, on the question of time, I just want to confirm that we only have 6 hours, like Senior Counsel Rengo said. And if my learned friend thinks that there are too many petitions, they can concede. That's all.
If may please, my lady, Honorable Chief Justice and my lords, on behalf of the petitioners in petition number 3, we were served in time by a set of documents from the IEBC. Then subsequently, last night, we were served with another set of documents from IEBC. Rule 11 of this court's rules are very clear on filing and service within 4 days. And we are greatly prejudiced if documents that were filed and served outside time does not allow us a rejoinder, and then those documents now constitute part of the record. We'll urge my ladies and my lords that when you consider the issue of representation of IEBC, please take into account that in respect to petition number 3, the IEBC faction, minority faction, served us with their documents outside time, and we had no opportunity to file any rejoinder. So that whatever they filed, we cannot speak to it.
Can you name the party who filed late?
It was filed by.
It was filed late.
It was served on us late. We were served last night by the law firm of GA and Company Advocates. And we received the documents under protest and did indicate. Our prejudice is we cannot file any rejoinder to all the issues they've raised.
Please repeat the particular document which was filed late and by who? Which party?
My lady, I can speak to the service. We were served last evening. They are the first and second respondents' documents filed by the law firm of G&A Advocates. The response to the petition from the same law firm. There is a replying affidavit by Michael Ouma, filed from the same law firm. The first respondent's replying affidavit, filed by the same law firm. All those, and there's several volumes of volume 1, volume 2, and volume 2 of their supporting documents was served on us yesterday in the evening. And under Rule 11, they were meant to file and serve within 4 days of filing the petition. We have a 1 day to respond. We cannot respond to all those documents that they filed. And we urge this court to be guided by the case of Raila Odinga 2013, that late service of the documents on us has prejudiced us, and the information therein should be expunged from the record. That's all, my lady.
Thank you.
Sorry, my lady, if with the indulgence, I can also enumerate the pleadings which have been filed out of time. The first one is an affidavit by Oduor Juma Joseph, filed in support of the first and second respondents by G&A Advocates. This was filed on Monday at midnight. That is last night. The second one is an affidavit by Moses Ledama Sunkuli, and that affidavit has been drawn by the firm of Iseme, Kamau, and Maema, who are acting for the first and second respondents. This was filed yesterday, and it was filed out of time. The third one, again filed yesterday, is by the same firm of advocates, Iseme, Kamau, and Maema, for the first and second respondents, and it was filed yesterday. Affidavit by Balang Gideon. The fourth one is also filed, this was filed on Sunday, the 28th. This one is an affidavit of Catherine Wambui Kamau. And this one has been filed by, I believe, the same firm of advocates, This was filed on Sunday. The other one is an affidavit filed by the firm of Kithure Kindiki and Associates. This was filed today. And is a further affidavit by Raymond Kiprotich Bet. The other one is an affidavit sworn by Martin Wachira Nyaga, an affidavit drawn by the firm of Iseme, Kamau, and Maema for the first and second respondents. This was filed on the 30th of August. This was filed today. Today at 2:45 a.m. The other one is an affidavit by Martin Wachira Nyaga, drawn by the same firm of advocates, Iseme, Kamau, and Maema for the first and second respondents. It was filed today, 30th of August, 2022 at 2:45 a.m. The other one is also an affidavit sworn by Hilda Kavonga, drawn by the same firm of advocates for the first and second respondents, is Iseme, Kamau, and Maema, filed on Sunday at 11 p.m. And the last one is an affidavit sworn by Martin Wachira Nyaga, drawn by the same firm of advocates, Iseme, Kamau, and Maema, on behalf of the first and second respondents. This was filed on the 28th of August, 2022. And as far as we're concerned, they were filed out of time and without the leave of the court.
Your Ladyship, we may actually go into a wrong series of saying what has been filed late and only taking certain documents and not all of them. As I was sitting here, I've been served with a petitioner's further affidavit filed today. Today's 29? Filed yesterday, 29th. And this is an affidavit that has been filed by the firm of Kenoti and Kibe Advocates. I think there is need now to take a stock of what has also been happening and which may not have been quite clear to the court. The e-filing system has had tremendous difficulties. And this you will confirm from the registrar, and I think all parties where we tried to file, we had challenges, and that took a bit of time. But to me, because we all look first at our own self-interest, the beginning point is the response filed by the firm of ISA on 26th August, and which takes the form of a new petition. That would be the beginning point, because if you are to allow that, then that petition will stand unresponded to date, because I could not respond to a petition filed outside the 7 days. So as you consider all these rival arguments, allowing some and disallowing the others, I think the most fundamental would be the status of that response, which is in the nature of a new petition. Once that is resolved, the other petitions in my submission would be dealt with quite easily. That is all, Your Ladyship.
May it please you, my lady, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, my lords, my ladies. on behalf of the first and second respondents, that is the chairperson of the IEBC, Mr. Wafula Chebukati, and the IEBC itself, I would want to mention just 3 quick issues in response to the issues that have been raised. The first, my name is Eric Gumbo. The first issue, my lady, is that just as has been indicated by Melanet Senior, Fred Ngatia Senior Counsel, the IT infrastructure of the judiciary and the portal upon which these documents are supposed to be filed had a big problem on Saturday. We did an email to the judiciary, got a confirmation that indeed the system was slow. And so that is the first reason why a number of documents came in late. Number 2, a number of these affidavits that have been alluded to before you this morning are affidavits that arose out of a response to affidavits that were filed by the same parties who are seeking to strike out these affidavits themselves. In particular, we got further affidavits from one John Gidongo. We got a further affidavit from one Arnold Ochieng. We got another affidavit from one George Joroge. And finally, one John Wesonga. These affidavits were filed way after the petition had been filed. They raised new issues. Specifically, they raised issues touching on the IT infrastructure of the IEBC. The most responsible thing to do, my lady and my lord, was for us to then do the affidavits. In fact, before they came in to raise the concern, we had ourselves wanted to raise this as a preliminary issue with the court so that we get directions. Because after we responded to the issues that they raised in their own further affidavits without leave, they again yesterday filed further affidavits seeking to now respond to the affidavits that we had filed responding to the issues they raised out of time. What is most interesting is that even in the affidavits that they filed as late as yesterday, they still raised new issues seeking to expand the 4 corners of the petition that is currently before the court, which then has the effect of making that petition mutate in form and character. Now, that said, my ladies and my lord, from where we sit, because of the significance of the issue at hand, we had taken the pragmatic approach to say that even though they served us late yesterday, that is late last night, we worked into the wee hours this morning and did our draft responses to those issues, so that if the court be minded to consider those issues, because I think some of them are pertinent to be able to go to the root of what we are dealing with, then those affidavits could be put in place. We'd be allowed to file those, the ones that we had not served, responding to the areas that they raised in the affidavits yesterday. In the alternative, that then the affidavits that they filed yesterday should be struck off, so that then we are not prejudiced ourselves. But secondly, and perhaps more importantly, because there is now no clarity as to which affidavit was filed in time, perhaps the best approach would be to ask the parties to file formal applications where they raise the concerns with specific documents, and we'll have an opportunity within this day today to demonstrate whether or not any of the affidavits was served out of time. I think that would give us clarity in such a way that no party would be prejudiced. I am most obliged.
Mr. Ngumbo, those affidavits were cited by Senior Counsel Orengo.
Yes.
Mr. Ngatia.
Sorry.
Mr. Ngatia, as senior counsel, you ought to know how to conduct yourself.
I do. Chief Justice. Affidavits which the Chief Justice has asked are not the ones that were enumerated by learned counsel Mr. Orengo. They are the new affidavits that were filed and served yesterday are as follows. The first one is an affidavit by Martha Karoa, senior counsel, of 28th August and served yesterday. The second one also by Martha Karoa of 27th August and sworn on 28th, and we received it yesterday. Celestine Anyango Opio, sworn on 28th August and served yesterday. George Joroge, sworn on 28th and served yesterday. John Mark Githongo, sworn on 28th and served yesterday. Edgar Ouko, sworn 28th, served yesterday. Benson Wesonga, this was served yesterday. Yes, sworn 28th and served yesterday. Arnold Oshieng, 28th is the date of swearing, served yesterday. John Githongo, once again, 28th August, date of swearing and service yesterday. Those are the ones that prompted a fury of activity on our part to try and respond to them. I'm in the same position as learned counsel. We try to work very hard, but by the time again we try to file, the system did not allow us to file. So we have new matters which have been raised, which we have not responded to. May I apologize to my Lord, Supreme Court Judge, and thank you for reminding me yet again. I am sorry, the whisper was not meant for the court, but to learned counsel. Thank you.
My lady, the Chief Justice, you had asked a question about the specific affidavits. My learned senior, Fred Ngatia, senior counsel, has given the list of those affidavits. In fact, the ones that have been served on us are the ones from John Githongo, Arnold Ochieng, John Joroge, and Benson Wesonga. And my lady, I just wanted to mention that so that we are able to contextualize this affidavit, when we were served with the petition, we had a specific time within which to respond. We responded in time and served those responses. When the petitioners saw our responses, without the leave of the court, they filed further affidavits. Now, when those affidavits were served on us, we thought that perhaps instead of coming to us for leave, we do the pragmatic thing.
Wewe ni msichana Migori. Anatoka Migori aje na anapigia Ruto kura. Hao wanafaa wafinywe. Bro, tangu ni alikuwa anasema hivyo. Alikuwa na kasi kwa siasa. Nikasikia tu Mike akisema, akasema ndio kuna 900. Hao watu 900 wafinywe. 900 wote watu watafute wafinywe. Yeah, you know. Hii ni gani? Wafinywe tena. Wafinywe tena. Wanachanganyikiwa. Sure. Aki, stop putting words in my mouth. Alfa Abdul Samad ameshinda. Sikuwa najua watu wa Mombasa, nimejua tu leo asubuhi. Malala sasa anaenda wapi? Lakini wako na national government sasa. Ya inauma. Mtu kama yeye adu. Takaa wapi miaka 5? Lakini in terms of politics, unajua ndio waendelee kuwa relevant. Lazima utafute kitu cha kupea relevance kwa politics. Watafanya not that atuwaambie tu wamesota. Ni ile unatafuta kitu ya kukufanya ukuwe relevant kwa politics. Unaona vile baba anakuwa active. Hivyo sasa watakuwa wapi? Sasa anaanza kuoppose. Kitu ndogo na oppose. But uko chini wewe si kama Raila. Ama uelewi chenye nasema. But unajua amekuwa public. So akioppose watu Utaopozia wapi? Utapata platform ya kuoppose. Kuna social media. Kama si social media unakuwa megona megona. Unakuwa megona megona. Unajipeleka TV. Ukiingia tu unaanza interview na hata wao online creators. The struggle is real. Hata wanakuanga frustrated. Si wao ni huwa wanatufrustrate wakishapata viti. Wakwetu frustrated. Tuhurumie tena nini? Gava, yeah. Interested. Ndio watu walikuwa wanasema ati sasa watu ati au watu wa ODM wataanguka, watu wa CM wenye mbaki wataanguka. Juu sasa watu watataka ati watu wataangalia na wanipigia nani wanataka kuingia tuko serikali. So wapigie serikali. Wapi serikali gani? Serikali ni Azimio. Tuko na maoni hapa chini. Yeah, sure. Mate, at the first year, 6 months. 6 months. Wanasema hapa wali. Si ndio? Na maisha. Taroli mimi ni demu. Hakuna ujaluo hapo. Si ndio? Like giving back. Yeah. Matenda, unazisunda sunda tu huko. Sijui ma web design, sijui ma hosting, angoa. Sema takataka zote unaziconnect unamletea. Unakuanga tu kwa lakini masifa unapata. Nani was just here? He was just here. Mungu wa Isaka, Abrahamu na Yakobo. Batatu rasingi ile ati hivyo. Yana rasingi tu kama ume cross lane yake. Except zile zenye tulikuwa tunatolewa group. Hizo nazo zilikuwa zinatufrustrate. Naamka asubuhi huko kwa group. Heri mimi nilikuwa natumanga report DMS. Wewe unatuma inbox. Umekipitia haki ya Mungu. Did you have done these days? Alikuwa anakuambia this one I already did yesterday. Very sure. Mimi naweza remove. Juicy. Unajihurumia mna Mungu. Una remove alafu nasema akikuuliza unamwambia ulidelete je alisema ashafanya. Alafu nakwambia uanze kufanya. Unafanya vitu zako alafu unachukua na mtu mwingine. Na huku umejua huku umedelete. Nakaribia kumaliza.
Hello? Yeah. Gimana? Yeah. 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 Oh, sawa sawa.
Leo sijasikia usingizi. True. So private parts zako unaziacha wapi ukienda hasa? Ndio kumtumia chenye alishacheka. Na watch. Sasa angekuwa mchomea. Ingekuwa vitu sio ufanya hapa. Story tu za nyingine tunapiga story hata wana. Ni venye pia anapenda motion. Sonko amenipigia leo. Mheshimiwa. By the way mimi nilikuwa malala alafu nimesikia baraza ameshinda. Lakini sasa si tunakubali tu tufanye aje? Sasa tunalia tu hii side moja. Baraza wasimio, watu ya simio. Alafu sasa. Sasa unajua nimelegea najua kuna mahali penye nimekosea. Na sasa hata nilishindwa vile nikwambia. Si ndio? Unitumie lunch kwanza. Nairobi. Mimi nakulanga kibandaski tu. Nakulanga kwa vibanda za Westlands.
We, maliza hiyo pombe tuende. Maliza hiyo pombe.
Oh, unatoka huko leo, unakuja Nairobi? Uko Nairobi? Tangu hiyo time yote tuanze kuongea na wewe bado uko Nairobi. Oh, ulikuja, ukaenda tena umerudi. Oh, utatoka saa 10 alafu ndio uende. Sasa I think maybe tupange, si tunaingia September. Si tupange kama na hiyo team yako nikikuja tukutane na hiyo media team sasa maybe next month hivyo nikuje ama nikuje alafu tufanye hizo zenye tulikuwa tufanye. Imagine nimeiunda, kai wacha hata niweke sahihi alafu nikutumie. Sawa, naiunda leo na kutumia. Sawa, I'm waiting for your lunch too. Leo tu ungeniambia nikuje nikule lunch. Ni sawa basi kama utakuwa umeenda leo, maybe tunaweza ongea kesho, lakini leo nitakuwa nimekutumia hiyo na imaliza leo. God bless you too. Sisi uwachange hiyo tabia yako. Imagine ajue hata naongea na nani. Tunaenda na wewe. Wewe hata ujui ni nani anajifanya ni mtu serious. Sio imagine jana. I had called someone. Hizo na show unajua mtu anaweza dhani mnunulie lunch ndio hiyo story. Mimi story yangu ni hivi na umekubali. Basi nikatae kwa nini? Nilikuwa natoa ni lunch hour. Hizi sio ila. Hiki nilikuwa natoa pipi. Next time hata usifanye hivyo kama si Miriam ungeendelea tu kubaliza hiyo pombe tu. Mtu anashangaa, mbona kunyonga pombe? Timalize hiyo pombe. Kimaliza unanuka. Unataka confirm kama nimesikia. Wanasema hii timu nayo wanajiweza yao. Kwanza natutambua. Timu yangu na Saddam. Sisi kazi yetu ni clean. Kazi yetu ni clean. Na wengine anamaanisha hivyo. Malishi hivyo. Acha nicheke hapa. Mnabana. Update Rubis Kenya. Nimekuwa nasikia hapa. Nimekuwa na watch sasa. Nikaweka funike kichwa vile mimi nafunika. Ati mwelewa weke earphones kwa masikio. Lakini you, there is no problem with you. The problem is the system. Makosa ni mingi sana. Nani huyo mtu ameanza? Ziko happy. Mtu anatumia nini? Nini? Nimetaka kuambia nini sasa? Si uangalie tu Citizen TV live. Nataka imeandikwa hiyo karatasi. Na unavaa ile font ya nini? Unasikiza? Unataka kutumaandiko ndio unatafuta hiyo font. Uko na maana naye. Mtu analetea na hiyo. Google basi point. Mtu huyo nani amecomplain? Kuna mtu ameongea tunasikiza. Akaanza complain akisema ati ile last time ati walipeana tu petition. Sasa kama disema wameamua kupeana more than two petitions. Ati that one kwanza it is illegal. Sema it is illegal. Last time kama zilikuwa tu sahihi. Exactly. Unajua hiyo point kitu yenye ananiboni anaona kama yeye ni mzee kwa hizo vitu. Anajua kila kitu petition yake inafaa kupitishwa. Yeah. Of which that's not how it is, not how it's supposed to be. But wacha tuone venye anafanya. Lazima tu wanalify hizo elections turudi tu tena washinde tu. But this time hawezi nalify tena so itakuwa hivyo. But no. Yes, imagine. Anaenda tena. Sasa ijatumwa. Hapana, mimi sijaelewa hivyo. Ashajua sisi ni mabosi. Sisi kazi yetu na kwanza clean. Wanaelewa kazi yetu. Si ndio Sadam? Anaelewa mko na sisi kazi yetu. Sasa ni nini? Kwani unasikia uchungu? Inakuuma. Ala. Tukiudeo. Sawa sauti ni sawa. The court has identified the following issues for determination to be considered by the parties at the pre-trial conference. Number 1. Whether the technology deployed by the IEBC for the conduct of the 2022 general election met the standards of integrity, verifiability, it did not meet. Security, transparency to guarantee accurate and verifiable results. Number 2. Whether there was interference with the uploading and transmission of Form 34A from the polling station to the IBC public portal. Number 3, whether there was a difference between Forms 34A uploaded on the IBC public portal and the Forms 34A received at the national time. There were a very big difference. 34A received to the agents at the polling station. Number 4, whether the postponement of the gubernatorial elections in Kakamega and Mombasa counties, parliamentary election in Kitui Rulo, Acheliba, Rongai, Pokot South constituencies, and electrical ward in Nyaki West, North, 90 constituency, and resulted in voter suppression to the detriment of the petitioners in petition number 1. Yeah, to push one. Whether there were unexplainable discrepancies between the votes for presidential candidates and other elected positions. Yeah, there were. Yeah. Whether the IEBC carried out the decision, and declaration of results. They never did. Whether the declared president-elect attained 50 of all votes cast according to the 138 of the Constitution. Oh, no, number 8. Whether there were irregularities and illegalities of the magnitude as the final result of the presidential election. What release and orders can the court grant and issue? Last time zilikuwa mbili na ikacanceliwa. So hizi ni hapa ndani hakuna mtu wa Ruto, hebu enda nje. Toka tu discuss. Hapa hakuna mtu wa Ruto, ndio tunaweza kurusha. Maana mimi nileta pesa yangu. Budget ni ngapi? Iko 250, mnipe hiyo pesa ati mzima. Hiyo ni fair, si ndio? Lakini itabidi azoe. Apeleke huko sura yake. Sisi hatutaki mambo ya Ruto. Sisi tuna stress. Motorists wafanye nini? Ati motorists wafanye nini nani? Haoni kama hiyo aibu yenye umepata haijatosha. Na mimi nakuitia assistant CEO. Kwambia hapo maneno. Unajua ni motorcycle. Ana alifanya direct translation. Sijali. Unga uji lisha. Wako wapi? Baadaye nilinunua unga uji kwangu jana. Leo silali, niko sawa sana. Hizi ni ngapi? Hizi ni categories 35 na. Sisi tunatumanga semester. Sisi in-house. 0.5. Sio 0.2. Juu kama nakumbuka nilikuwa nimeenda kwa wale loan lending apps. Nikamwambia niwauzie bulk SMS. Akasema mimi nitafanya na wewe. Nikamwambia sisi tunafanya boxes for 0.6. But unajua my worry is karatasi zote zipo. Mbona Supreme Court wata-identify instead of bado watapea ABC account watakuwa mtu vile walikuwa. Sasa wasipee ABC they recruit a team. Recruit team. Sasa walete wazungu because African state coordinate tuko. Walete tu watu waingize kwa room, no phone, no nothing, just food mnaletewa pia na watu. Mkaunt hizo vitu na mtihani. Wale watu watakuwa wameletwa aje? Ndio watakuwa wameletwa. Sasa ndio inaongelea. Sio koti ni nani? Koti ni kitu ama ni mtu? Na huyo mtu si ako na interest pia. Na koti si wamemekubali. So mwenye atakuwa call ndio itakuwa. Atapigiwa simu ndio ataambiwa ni ama kukutana face to face. Wataambiana nini? Iko tu vile itakuwa. Recount within 48 hours. Itakuwa imeisha kweli. Karibu nishtuke nikakumbuka. Sipangu. Yes, maybe. Wow. Which table? Which table? Which table? Close it down. Yeah. Alafu mimi give me my bed, man. Mami, makingi yani kidogo tachio. Ini ndika ngine na dawa ndi nyalo wara kwenda. Ananibaji. Ukata. Pasana ngo Lydia. Ami tuone kecha. Hala. Unatamani kusikia story. Sawa, acha basi tuongee kwa Kiswahili. Sasa nasema. Unaona unataka kusikia. Sasa nauliza tu what do I bring on the table? Namwambia kwani which table kwanza? Kwa Kiswahili haitaingia vizuri hiyo story. Haitakuwa na table. Utaenda umeenda. Tenda na gari. Mimi sitaki kuenda hata. Sitaenda in short. Nadhani nitasema tuende. Sitaki. Juu hata sitaenda. So if you are planning to have a ride with me, but I can get you people. Mwenye unaweza enda nao Kisumu ama wapi? Wa Kisumu tu, si ndio? I can get you people. Na pressure zitawapanda na kushuka. Maneno gani seche moko inusga? Inus? Okay, kodi. Inusga. Lydia, don't go nus. Osiep nini nus. Ukane ken sawa. Balka SMS cleaned. Yes, Assistant Sylvia. Nisave hizi hapa. Hapana, hii mkono hii ni off shoulder. Wewe na mpeleka shamba huko. Utafanya Lydia avunjike miguu akikimbia kwa jikoni. Na anajua vile alizisikuonda. So anashangaa. Ndio chukua ufiche. Chukua utapelekea Zamzam nyumbani jioni. Thank you, sir. Haya, hiyo ni share save hapo. So ya bulk SMS iko ready nikutumie? Kama utaweka credit straight tu. Oi, bulk SMS contacts clean ziko sawa. Huyo ameshachukua mandazi ameweka kwa koti. Anataka kupiga mandazi. Mmoja wa koti mandazi. Ukapata ya lunch kwaje? Wanaona yaani mama huyu ananigonga bullet kila siku. Hizo zimekataa. Hizo zimekataa. Hiyo ni kama imekataa. Sio bullet zake zimeisha. Huyu anataka juu ya nguvu. Nguvu za kiume. Hizo nguvu za kiume zimeshuka. Kitu gani? Hiyo si mgombe. Mgombe tunachemsha kwa supu. Kwani ni basi unaikula aje? Hivyo kwa mdomo. Bati zinaweza kulwa. Si ni maana zikikulwa. Unajua ni kitu zimejaa. Ni kama dawa, ni kama si dawa. Ni vitu tu za nini. Tuulize unaosha kula sasa hiyo unauliza nani? Basi sidhani ni kali. Haina taste. Ama taste yenye iko nayo si kali na si tamu. But sio haichemshi. Huyu pia anataka nguvu za kike. Nguvu zako za kike zimeshuka. You cannot maintain 3 hours. 3 hours man. For 3 hours. Unless kama Unaona mgembera? Si tutakutana nazo kwa njia, hata wale watu wanauzanga njugu wanakuanga nazo. Nakwambia bullets zenye utakuwa nazo. Unasikia? 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 Ndio imetoka. Jioni. Ndio imetoka. Tuende kwa gari hapo down. Kama hajatoka tuna fast. Fast. Mimi na Miriam. Wow. Baby na nothing masai Banks unatuma na nikundie haina shida, sinakupa tu access yangu ya si form yenye sisi tunajaza. Mimi nasema yetu kujaza 500 mkato 500. Si ndio sasa lazima ujue huyu ana contribute so na huyu ana contribute 500. Unaelewa? Oh, mimi sikuona. Sifai kuona. Oh, ni staff. Sawa si staff. Mimi sasa ni kwa sako sasa hivi. That is the only one. Hata si ati na mtu kwa sako. But hiyo si siri. It's not private. Don't say. So, unafikiri vitu zote zinafanya na kutoa funds za topic ya sex na kutenganishanga. Hiyo inakujanga mtakuna. Hiyo hata kama umevaa earphones unasikianga. Zingine usikiange. Kama ya sex. Kama za sex. Kama ya sex. Kama za sex. Kupozia wapi? Utapata platform ya kupozia. Unakuwa megona megona. Unakuwa megona megona. Sasa lunch tunaweza hiyo fast. Hakuna ujaluo hapo. Sindio? Like giving back. Yeah. Matenda, hii unazisunda sunda tu huko. Sijui ma web design, sijui ma hosting, angoa. Sema takataka zote unaziconnect tunamletea. Unakuanga tu lakini masifa unapata. Nani was just here? He was just here. Mungu Isaka, Abrahamu na Yakobo.